Hi guys, it's Mrs. Koblitz. Welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the distributive property. Now I know a lot of you probably know what the distributive property is or you've used it before. Bells. But in case you don't remember, let's recall. So here's our variable example here. What you do when you distribute is whatever number is on the outside of the parentheses, whether it's in the front or the back, you distribute that number, so you multiply that number by everything inside your parentheses. So this A on the outside, I'm going to multiply A times B and then A times C. So A times B gives me AB. I'm going to bring down my plus sign. A times C is going to give me AC. These are not like terms because they don't both have AB or AC. So we are done with that one. Similar to this one, the only difference here is that we have a negative C. So whenever you have a negative C, you can assume that that is a negative variable. So I'm going to distribute my A. A times B is AB. A times negative C is negative AC. Not the same things, not like terms, so I'm done. I've circled some examples I'd like to go through with you today, and then I'll let you try the rest of them on your own. So let's go through the first one. All right, so this time, we're going to be distributing a 7. So 7 times x gives me 7x. 7 times a positive 4 gives me a positive 28. Remember, I can't combine these two because they're not like terms. This has a variable, this one does not, so that's a constant. Let's check out number 4. Now we're going to be distributing a negative number. So negative 5 times m is negative 5m. Negative 5 times negative 2 gives me a positive 10, because a negative times a negative is always a positive. So far, so good. For number 5, we're going to be distributing a negative 1. It's kind of invisible, but we can assume that that negative symbol means negative 1. You can write the 1, you don't have to. So I'm going to distribute that to both of my terms. So negative 1 times y is negative 1y, or you can just write negative y. Either way is correct. Negative 1 times negative 9 gives me a positive 9. All right, let's jump down here. Similarly, we have negative w, which can also be written as negative 1w. So when I distribute my negative 4 here, I'm going to have negative times a negative gives me a positive 4w. Negative 4 times negative 10 gives me a positive 40. Number 10, we're going to distribute the 3. So 3 times m is 3m. 3 times n is 3n. They're not like terms because they're not the same variable. So we're good. Number 11, we're going to be distributing the x. X times y is xy. The rule of thumb with that is you just want to put them in order, in alphabetical order, whenever you're multiplying your variables. So then x times 4, or positive 4, is positive 4x. Again, not like terms because you'd have to have both the x and y on here in order to combine them, so we're simplified as much as we can. Number 12, we're distributing letter D. So sort of like earlier, D times C. Typically you would write it in alphabetical order, so it would be CD. However, I'm going to write DC as well because I don't want anybody to think that they have the wrong answer in case you flip-flopped it. D times negative 4 is negative 4D. So either of these answers would be correct. Typically, again, you'd want to put them in alphabetical order, but I would accept that answer as well. Number 13. I like number 13 because now we're distributing two different things. We have a number part and a variable part. So we'll have to look at them slightly separately. 6a times b gives me 6ab. 6a times positive 2c. Well, 6 times positive 2 gives me a positive 12. And then A times C gives me AC. These aren't the same, so I can't combine them, and it's simplified. Number 14, let's distribute that too. I've got 3 terms inside my parentheses. Remember, our terms are separated by pluses and minuses. So 1 term, 2 term, 3 term. So 2 times x gives me 2x. 2 times negative 1y would give me negative 2y. And 2 times 8 is going to give me a positive 16. Let's look at number 15. Here we're going to distribute the x. I'm just going to erase this second part so I can show my arrows. 3 terms again. So if you're distributing to 3 terms, you should have 3 terms at the end. So x times 2y would give me 2xy. So the 2 came down, my x and my y. Next one, x times negative 5z. Why, technically this is a 1x. So 1 times negative 5 gives me negative 5. And then I'm going to put my x first and then my z in alphabetical order. And then x times positive 1 is positive 1x, or just plus x. Again, these are not like terms. We have an xy here, an xz here, and just an x here. Nothing is alike, so I can't combine any. Okay, last one. So the last one freaks people out because of fractions, but that's why we have a calculator. So I'm going to punch in negative 1/8 times 4/5, see what I get. And then I'm going to do the same thing for negative 24. So I take negative 1/8. And I'm going to multiply by 4/5. Negative 1/10 x. All right, let's do the same thing, but with the negative 24. So I have negative 1/8 times negative 24, positive 3. And I'm all done. Thanks for tuning in.